confetti time! And today I'm going to talk about why November sucks. I don't know about you guys or if you feel the same way, but I actually made a huge list of why I don't like November. And I don't know, I can't decide if it's this November that I don't like or it's every November because I never really thought about it before. But everyone usually does their I'm, as I've mentioned many times before, addicted to beauty channels on YouTube, and they all do like their November favorites for beauty products, and I was like, oh, did I even have any like beauty favorites? I did. Not that I'm a beauty channel, as I've mentioned before. Burt's Bees facial cleansing towelettes with white tea extract, and they smell so good, and I've been using them all month. They're almost gone because I've used like one a day basically, but unless I skip a day. Anyway, that's not where I was going with this at all. But my point was, that's like the only good thing that happened to me this month. I did get my student loan, but it was like November 29th, I think. Yeah, I had to wait that long. Thank God I had a job, or I would have been having to live off my parents. And we know that wouldn't have worked. Anyway, so let me just start off with things I don't like about November. This isn't going to be in any particular order because I can't remember the order that things happen in, and I just kind of wrote it off off the top of my head. So number one, I started rocking a side pony. That's a bad thing. I don't know. I literally, it's the easiest thing. Like in October, it was like bun on the top of my head. Yeah, and now it's a side pony, and I can't stop. Like, a low pony in the back just looks ridiculous. Like, it looks so bad. And then this, I'm just like, what century am I in? No. Era? No. Decade. What decade am I in? I don't know. I don't think it's this one. November sucks because Halloween is over, but Christmas isn't yet. You know? You don't want... I promised myself I wouldn't have eggnog until December 1st, which is today, and I didn't have any eggnog today, so it's killing me. But if you start your Christmas too early, I mean, I do like Christmas, I do, but if you start too early, then by the 25th of December, you're kind of like, oh, this has been happening for almost 2 months now, if you start in November. So there's nothing really to go for except for Remembrance Day, which gets me to my next points. My poppy this year, I had it probably for about a week because I didn't want to wear it too soon, but then I didn't want to so I started probably wearing actually I went looking for a poppy for the longest time and I couldn't find one because every time I went to the bank or the post office it was bad hours, and then the people who sat there with poppies weren't there. But my poppy poked me so many times this year. And I don't know if anyone else has that trouble. I usually put a little eraser back on the back of it, but then I realized how stupid that looked, and I felt like it took away from the beauty of the poppy. And the point is, it poked me a lot and it hurt. And another note on the fact of Remembrance Day is some of my favorite memories from Remembrance Day are going hunting with my dad. And I didn't get to do that again this year. I think it's the second year in a row I haven't gotten to do it because I didn't get to go home because I didn't have my student loan and I didn't have any money to get it home. And then I was like, well, I'm going home in December anyway. Maybe I shouldn't bother. Regrets. I should have went home because now I really miss it. Not that I didn't before, but I miss it even more because I didn't get to go home on Remembrance Day. Do you get what I'm saying? November is so stressful because, I mean, midterms are happening at the beginning of November, late October kind of thing. So there's midterms there, and then all of a sudden you have assignments due November 30th. And I mean, I'm a procrastinator. I'm a university student. Those things go hand in hand. It's gonna happen. So of course, yesterday, November 30th, I had 2 really big group projects done. And I live on campus, so I was the closest one for both of my groups. And they're for the same professor. And of course he would make them do the same day, right? Why not? Oh, so I was so stressed trying to figure out one, and then I was like, okay, I have to do the other one, make sure it was all good, and go print it off at the library, because I don't have a printer. And then like pass it in, and then he wasn't there when I went there. I thought he was gonna be, but it was like 4 o'clock, and he must have just like went home or had a meeting or something. So I had to slide on his door, but I had to write a note on the thing to make sure that it was okay, and make sure he knew that it was ours and that what time it came in at, because I didn't want to lie, because it was in at like 4 and it wasn't due until midnight. So I was early. It's just so stressful. And then you have to start, then you're like, oh my god, now it's December and now finals start. So do you see what I'm saying? It's too stressful. Like, I cannot believe how fast this semester went by. But now I'm like hardcore like, oh no, exams are coming and I have to pass because I have to graduate in May. No room for failure. None. All of a sudden, the weather changes in November. Like, October was actually like a decent time. Like, I could go around in a sweater. And now it's freezing and it dries up my skin and my lips. So I've been like laying on my lip balm and then like moisturizing myself all the time because it's like really so dry and I just can't handle it. And then sleeping at night, you have to turn on the heat, but then you can't open the window, but then it gets too hot, but then if you open the window after you turn off the heat, then it gets too cold, and like there's no good temperature to sleep in. Actually, last night I tried to open up my window and it was like frozen, so that's not good. Because I was dying of heat because my heater is so hot. There's really no good in between there. Also, on a side note, the people who live above me are so loud. Like, whoever has the room above me, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know who exactly lives above me. Like, I know the people who live above me, so I'm not going to, like, say any names or anything, because I don't know whose room is above me. But, oh my god, I've never, like, I feel bad about saying this because I know I've been that person who has the music really loud. And I mean, I still do sometimes. But yesterday, Friday morning, when I don't have classes, and, like, I was ready to sleep in because I didn't have to work until 5. So I was like, I was going to sleep in until probably noon, which is really good for me because I've been trying to keep a good sleeping schedule, which has nothing to do with anything. 8:30, they have the music up, and I could, like, hear every word, and I was like, really? Is this necessary? And I had to wake up at 8:30 because, well, actually, they woke me up earlier than that because I fell out of bed again. I'm not even joking. They fall out of bed so much, and I'm assuming that's what it is, because literally, like, once, almost, like, at least twice a week, there's this big thump in the middle of the night coming from upstairs. It's like, boom. And it must be them falling out of bed. Like, what else would it be? It's like a huge thump, and it, like, wakes me up, and I have to wake up, and then I'm like, oh, friggers. Like, I want to call them, like, Thumper. Like, that's my nickname for them in my head. I don't know. And then I had an exam, and it was Wednesday night at like 11:30. I was like, okay, I'm done studying. I'm going to get a good night's rest because the exam was at 10 the next morning, so I had to like wake up early. I was literally, I had Shazam on my phone, and I could like hear the songs that were playing so loud that I was like Shazamming songs. Like the words and everything, and it'd be like, oh, this is that song. I was like, oh man, I should like download that song. Because, I mean, I'm not complaining about their taste in music. They have pretty good taste in music. But there are times when I don't want to hear it. I hate saying, like, I haven't made any noise complaints yet. I might if they don't do anything during quiet hours because I really need to study hard for exams. But, like, let me have normal sleep. But I'm just really happy December's here.